early life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was born in Mecca, Arabia, on Monday, 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal, 2nd of August AD 570. His mother Aminah was the daughter of Wahb ibn Abdul Manaf of the Zahra family. His father Abdullah was the son of Abdul Muttalib. His genealogy has been traced to the noble house of Ishmael, the son of Prophet Abraham, in about the 40th descent. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam father died before his birth. He was the most handsome of men of medium height, black hair and beard. His teeth shone gleaming white when he smiled, but it was his character and perfect behavior which made the greatest impression. Life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was the general custom of the Arabs that their young children were sent to the desert to be brought up with the Bedouins. The tough desert life gave the child a good start in life, and the language of the Bedouins was a much purer Arabic. For a few years, they grew up in this harsh but health desert life before returning to their parents. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was entrusted to Halimah Sa'diyah. She was a poor, wet nurse. She and her husband only had a donkey and old she-camel. She did not even have enough milk to feed the other child in her care. It was also the year of famine and drought, so they would constantly pray for rain. None of the other Bedouin wet nurses wanted to take the child Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because he was an orphan. When a child was returned to the family of the foster child, they would reward the wet nurse generously. They couldn't expect to gain many riches from a child who was an orphan. Every woman got a child to bring up but Halimah, who had arrived last and did not find a child to foster. She was ready to go back when she decided to return and collect the child Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even though he was an orphan. As soon as she lifted Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, her fortunes turned right around and her life was filled with immense good fortune. Both Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the other foster child were fully fed, even though the previous night there was no milk for the other child. The old she-camel, which had not given a drop of milk, was soon overflowing with milk. Halimah was at the very back of the group of women, but now was at the front of the group. This was indeed a great blessing for this poor Bedouin family. Halimah knew that she had a blessed child, with all the miracles and blessings she was seeing with her own eyes. Halimah's herd of goats used to come home full and overflowing with milk. The rest of the Bedouins' goats used to come home scraggy and empty. They used to complain to the shepherd to take the sheep and goats to the same place that Halimah takes her flock. There were many more signs about how her life was turned around. After 2 years, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was returned to his mother Aminah. But soon Aminah was persuaded by Halimah to return the baby back with them for another 2 years. At this time, Halimah told Aminah about the great blessings that she had received when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in her care. There was also an illness in Makkah, and the child would be protected from it. A strange incident took place in the Prophet's childhood. Once both Muhammad and his foster brother were playing in the yard with the goats when the angel Jibrail appeared to them. The angel came split open Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam chest, took out his heart, removed a blood clot and washed it in Zamzam. The angel then returned the heart to Muhammad's body before going away. The angel said this was the part of shaitan in you. His foster brother ran to Halimah and said that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been murdered. She rushed out and found Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam standing with a pale white face. She checked over his body and found that he was fine. Very shortly, she returned him to Aminah, his mother. Aminah found out from Halimah about the events that had taken place. Aminah assured Halimah that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not under the influence of any devil or jinn, but even when she was expecting him, she had seen great marvels and miracles. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was returned to the care of his mother Aminah and continued to live with her and Barakah. Before he was 6 years old, his mother died, and the doubly orphaned Mohammedﷺ was put under the charge of his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, who took the most tender care of him. But the old chief died 2 years afterwards. On his deathbed, he confided to his son Abu Talib the charge of the little orphan. When Mohammedﷺ was 12 years old, he accompanied his uncle Abu Talib on a mercantile journey to Syria, and they proceeded as far as Busra. The journey lasted for some months. It was at Busra that the Christian monk Bahira met Mohammedﷺ. He is related to have said to Abu Talib, "Return with this boy and guard him against the hatred of the Jews, for a great career awaits your nephew." After this journey, the youth of Mohammedﷺ seems to have been passed uneventfully, but all authorities agree in ascribing to him such correctness of manners and purity of morals as were rare among the people of Mecca. The fair character and the honorable bearing of the unobtrusive youth won the approbation of the citizens of Mecca, and by common consent he received the title of Al-Amin, the Faithful. In his early years, Mohammedﷺ was not free from the cares of life. He had to watch the flocks of his uncle, who, like the rest of the Bani Hashim, had lost the greater part of his wealth. Mohammedﷺ: "Hey, amazing YouTubers! We're on a journey to share incredible Islamic stories that touch hearts. Join us on Spiritual Miracle Tales, where inspiration meets storytelling magic. Subscribe for a sprinkle of spirituality, and let's create a community of wonder together. Let the journey begin, and let's spread the joy." Spiritual Miracle Tales. Subscribe and share.